Harvard University announced a huge $100 million Bitcoin buy, but they're not the only university buying millions of dollars of Bitcoin. But before we talk about the other universities buying, because they're not alone, literally minutes ago, we got confirmation from David Bailey's new Nakamoto company that they're going to buy nearly $1 billion of Bitcoin tomorrow. The real question here is just how many companies and institutions can buy this amount of Bitcoin with the price only sitting around 120K. And there's a bunch of news coming out of the corporate treasuries as well. It seems like, you know me, I don't like the supply shock meme, but it does seem like the capital flowing into Bitcoin is getting out of hand. And of course, we have Sophie filling in with us. Internet Sophie, our new Simply Bitcoin sensation on the channel, filling in with us today. So let me just dive straight into this. So first off, guys, as I said, we have Harvard. Their endowment just bought $116 million of the IBIT ETF, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. So it's not spot Bitcoin, but there is some interesting news around just the significance of Harvard buying this ETF. And of course, this is a huge position here. I'm over here on the SEC filing, and you can see their total shares here. So they bought $116,666,250 of the IBIT shares, which is roughly 1.9 million shares of the IBIT. But looking at this, their portfolio here, there's some interesting stuff that pops out. Of course, one, they have more money in the Bitcoin IBIT ETF than they do in Google, aka Alphabet Inc. They also have more money in Bitcoin than they do in Nvidia right now, which is absolutely nuts considering this is all the rage right now. Nvidia, AI computing has seemed to taken over Wall Street all of last year. And now it looks like we have a new trend. And if this is a kind of indicator of what's going to happen later, I think it's going to get pretty crazy. Now, again, as I said, there was another university that came out over the weekend that announced a huge buy in Bitcoin. It's not as big as Harvard, but I think it's still significant because it's another Ivy League school. So Brown University reported owning 105,000 shares of the IBIT Bitcoin ETF. A little less, 4.9 million, but this is a new position. This could just be them kind of dipping their toes into the market. I think the significance here is two Ivy League schools basically on the same day. Of course, they had to announce this, come out and say, yeah, we are buying Bitcoin. And now you can see, again, here is the SEC filing, 4.9 mil. Again, bigger than their Microsoft holdings and bigger than their Google holdings here. So I don't know if this is a trend going on of these institutions, Wall Streets, nation states, going this big on an ETF. I think we're going to see something crazy. Now, of course, Eric Balchunas of Bloomberg, senior ETF analysis, he really hit the nail on the head here. He goes, Harvard and Brown have bought IBIT. Harvard is a pretty sizable chunk, too. They're the 29th biggest holder out of 1,300 holders of the IBIT. And in my opinion, endowments are the hardest institutions to hook, and they rarely bite on ETFs. So, again, they usually never buy ETFs. What is making them change now and buying the Bitcoin ETF? Well, I mean, us Bitcoiners know why.
Us Bitcoiners know the obvious, but if I had to put on my political tinfoil hat, it would be didn't they just get rug pulled by the federal government like hard?
Yeah, they need some gains.
Didn't Trump just say, money printer's over for you guys? Sorry, should have supported the people I wanted you to support.
Yeah, interesting.
So it is interesting that once the money spigot just got turned off for Harvard, they said, dang, like, what are we going to do? We're going to team up with the other biggest institution aside from the government, and we're going to buy some Bitcoin ETFs. What is interesting, though, is that it is a Bitcoin ETF. Like, they're not just putting their money in the S&P 500. They're not putting their money on traditional financial instruments. They're actually betting on Bitcoin. So some of them must be putting that IQ to work and saying, there might actually be something here.
Yeah, 100%. And that's actually the next point I'm going to bring up. But I do want to cover this one tweet here from Eric Balchunas to kind of paint the significance of this move here. So to be sure, this is a sizable from an ETF perspective, but microscopic from Harvard's perspective. And plus, we don't know if they're doing some larger trade or arbitrage moves with it. Still, though, I'm telling you, endowments are notably anti-ETF. And like Soph was saying, the fact that they're buying the Bitcoin ETF here, when they really stay away from ETFs, I think is kind of a sign of the times. And then, Soph, you really hit the nail on the head here. Remember this screenshot from a couple of years ago? This is from 2018. We have, what's 2018? Is that 8 years ago? No, seven years ago now. The headline is, a decade from now, Bitcoin is more likely to be $100 than $100,000, says Harvard economist. And here we are. They basically finally dipped their toes at 100K. So I guess the meme,
you buy at the price
exactly.
that you deserve.
Here we go.
And this is so funny. That guy totally got fired.
He should. But again, we have the Ivy Leagues now dipping their toes into Bitcoin. And historically, as I forget the headline, there's an article, famous one, why the yuppie elite dismiss Bitcoin. Well, it looks like now the yuppie elites are coming into Bitcoin. And Saylor even retweeted this morning, or maybe yesterday. And he goes, quote, Bitcoin is going to zero. For 15 years, the quote, top economists, bankers, and investors told you that you probably shouldn't buy Bitcoin, and they were all wrong. Nobel laureates, Wall Street CEOs, Ivy League professors, every single one of them. I hope you didn't listen to them because they've been wrong. And somehow us with 45 IQs here on Simply Bitcoin and Bitcoin Twitter.
That's been disputed. According to the interwebs, we Simply Bitcoin have 127 IQ. Shout out Bryson.
Left side of the right side of the bell curve. And here we are. They're finally bending the knee. As we always say, you get the price you deserve. Or what? You get the Bitcoin price at the price you deserve. Anyways, going further, again, the supply shock meme is kind of all the rage right now. And I did a good interview with Checkmatey. He doesn't believe it. I'm kind of on the side of there will always be Bitcoin or at any price. It's just maybe not at this price. So the price has to move up. And this is kind of what you're seeing. You're seeing the dominoes fall very quickly. It feels like we are in this watershed moment where now everyone is dipping their toes into Bitcoin. And when I first heard this news over the weekend, all I could think of was Bitcoin's really not going away now. If we have Harvard, Brown, Ivy Leagues, the nation states, all of the banks around the world dipping their toes into Bitcoin, anyone that thinks this thing is just going to go away now, I think is really going to be, sitting there with some very heavy fiat bags and have a rude awakening. Now, doubling down on this, the idea of a supply shock is getting interesting, though. Now, whether you believe the supply shock is this idea that, the exchanges are going to get drained of Bitcoin, or if you take it the other way, that it's just so much fiat capital coming into the market right now, it's absolutely nuts what's going on. And David Bailey has been doing this countdown for the last couple of weeks. And this is his tweet this morning. He goes, ever since getting into Bitcoin, I've always had this dream of smash buying $1 billion of Bitcoin into a single bid. Tomorrow, that dream comes true. Got to start dreaming bigger. Now, when you really go into it, he is rounding up. It's like 760 million, which is still, it'd be nice to be able to smash by $760 million of Bitcoin right now, but they are going to film it. So maybe we get like a good content out of this $1 billion bid to buy Bitcoin. It's getting nuts. And you can see here, when we're done, everyone everywhere will know the name Nakamoto. And they're not the only ones here. Saylor keeps stacking. I think last week he did 2 buys that were raising $6 billion, I think. He just bought a little, I would say a measly 155 coins here for 18 million. And then we have other corporate treasuries doing the same thing. Saquon's purchasing 1.5 million. The question really remains, who is going to be the leader on the Bitcoin treasury leaderboard here? It's going to get very interesting tomorrow. I think $1 billion in Bitcoin right now is like 10,000 coins. So, hey, Nakamoto's coming out of the gate really strong. It looks like they'll, be able to jump in maybe around, what is this, like the 13th biggest company here on corporate treasuries. From my perspective, this 120K price range right now, it doesn't feel like it could hold for that much longer. There seems to be way too much capital that is trying to unlock going into Bitcoin. And this is only from a few kind of institutions, hedge funds. I think it's going to get even crazier here. But what do I know? I'm just looking at the news here and I'm like, man, with all this billions of dollars coming into Bitcoin, How come the price is so stagnant? What is going on here? I know everyone says paper Bitcoin, but we have to remember.
Tomorrow they're filming it, so
We'll see.
I'm going to be very interested in seeing what almost $1 billion does to the price. In front, like,
it would be cool.
Yeah, because you hear all of these institutions buying, but you know, we have our doubts. We're dubious. We like to, you know, trust but verify. Here, you're literally verifying, like you're seeing the payment go through, and I'm extremely interested in seeing what that does to the price because, you know, then when there's like this news of Harvard and Brown and the government buying Bitcoin, you know exactly what to expect. And when the government, the economy, like these markets know what to expect, that is going to make the price skyrocket or not. You know,
who knows? I mean, maybe they're gonna get dumped on.
It seems to always dump when people sell. So like we know that for sure is like verified. But when people say that they're buying, you know, somehow that's always an issue. So now that we're doing it live, it is going to be interesting to see what that does to the price.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch it happen in real time because the amount of Bitcoin that gets released a day. If I remember, I'm gotta fact check this because I'm a little slow. Yes, I remember this. 450 Bitcoin a day. These institutions, like Saylor himself is basically buying up just daily supplies with $10,000 or 10,000 coins being bought up at like one single time. Obviously, it'll be a little less. I think it's going to be what, like 7,500 coins or something. But that's what, months worth of Bitcoin supply that's being bought at a single time. And I know we've been seeing a lot of selling happen from OGs right now. There's been hundreds of thousands of coins hitting the exchanges. I don't see how this price can stay at 120-ish. And I mean, maybe we saw this play out over the weekend. We saw the price hit like 122 or something like that. It's starting to get frothy. It is starting to feel like it's going to actually explode this time. I still have my buddy sending me texts and saying, dude, if we have a candle like the one that was looking at this morning after like an hour of the market opening, he's like, it's not going to be good, bro. And I'm like, with all the news coming out, it's hard to see how the price is going to stay where it's at.
And don't forget that Coinbase is also going to buy an astronomical amount because I'm pretty sure they're running out on their own supply, and they're going to say, damn, like when people want to sell this stuff or when the, you know, big companies want to sell some of this Bitcoin, we're not going to have any. So we probably should buy some. And buying some at this price, I mean, going to be really great for people who've been holding for a long time.
Yeah, pump our bags, you know.
Bags, pump it up.
Let's, you know, with all the buys going on, you just really want to have the fun again. Maybe my dopamines are just completely fried here. I have no dopamine receptors left unless it's related to the Bitcoin price moving. And without the price moving, I am starting to feel like we're just getting bored to death here. It's stepwise function. I know a lot of people on the internet over the weekend are saying 4-year cycle's dead. Even some of my favorite Bitcoiners like Pierre Rochard, he's like the 4-year cycle's over. I don't know about all that, but it does seem like things are going to get crazy this week in particular.
You know what's interesting? I was actually having a conversation last night with my really good friend, and her boyfriend was telling me how, you know, his brother is like starting this marketplace on a certain video game. It's very popular. And he's going to be...
Is that GTA 5?
Yes, actually, it is. I don't know if we can plug those things because we're not sponsored by GTA 5. But if you want to sponsor
Rockstar
us,
Games, what's up?
Call us. But yeah, he wants to start like some sort of server where he sells assets from GTA 5 in Bitcoin. And I was like, wait, for real? Like normies are talking about this? People who are in the video game space? I wonder what other revolutions got started in the video game space. You know, that conversation made me super bullish because if people are starting to make, you know, peer-to-peer at marketplaces, first of all, that's what Bitcoin was actually started for. And second of all, that means that there is like this interest now from the public to use Bitcoin for everyday things. And so who's to say that, next it'll be Amazon, next it'll be Apple, next it'll be these bigger companies who start to say, hey, we also want in on the retail space with Bitcoin. I think that's around the corner, honestly. And we've been saying this since we got into Bitcoin in like 2016, 2015. It's everyone's waiting for the day that Amazon and big retailers accept Bitcoin. That's going to be the thing that truly takes us into hyper Bitcoinization.
Well, I'm happy you brought that up because I am going to speculate on that later in the culture because we did get an interesting news that is close to Amazon. I'm going to just sneak peek it here, but nothing full here. That's why I put it at the end of the show because we're going to speculate a little bit here. So we'll see. We'll leave that one there for a minute. Anyways, I do want to remind you guys to, of course, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube, our Rumble, our Twitter, and comment on the show. Tell us what you guys think about the show. Not about different stuff. Just what do you guys think about the show? Maybe what do you think about Sophie's show? Should she replace us here continuously, constantly on the live show? Should it just be simply Sophie now? Let us know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, before we go on, I do want to give a huge shout out to our boys over at Bitcoin Well. Go to bitcoinwell.com/simplybtc. Sign up. Make sure you are getting real Bitcoin from an exchange that can literally never rug pull you because they never hold your Bitcoin. That's right. You need to have a Bitcoin wallet when you sign up to Bitcoin Well so that you send them their fiat. They send you the Bitcoin directly to your cold storage. Scan the QR code there, and you have 3 chances to win 1 million sats in the Bitcoin wishing well. And of course, if you're watching this and someone in the chat's like, who's buying Bitcoin right now? If you have fiat still on the sideline and you want to smash by $50,000 or more of Bitcoin, hit the Bitcoin Well Infinite Well team, and they will give you a white glove service. If it's your first time buying Bitcoin and you want to do it in a huge chunk, get in touch with them and they'll set you up so you can ensure that you are holding your Bitcoin long term and you don't get rug pulled. All right, guys, let's get into the show.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, StampSeed. Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Are your seed phrases really secure? StampSeed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you'll need for you to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates. Instead of just writing them down on paper, paper is fragile. Titanium plates are strong. Your words are actually stamped into the titanium plate with this hammer and these letter stamping tools. Once the words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamp seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. And now you can customize your titanium seed plates. You can upload your design or logo and they will laser engrave it on the back of your seed plate, the opposite side of where the words are. Stamp your seed on StampSeed and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the stampseed.com store.
Alrighty then, guys. We're over here on Clark Moody's dashboard. The current Bitcoin price is $120,060 per Bitcoin, which is a decline of negative 2.4% from all-time high. That's right, just down 2% from all-time high. Actually, guys, in the chat right now, let me know if you think we're going to break all-time high this week. Are we breaking all-time high this week? Current block height is 909,000. Sophie says yes.
Yes.
Okay, you heard it here first. 909,580. Again, block height is 909,580. The current market cap is $2.39 trillion. And we have reclaimed that 10% of the gold market cap. Feels good. It feels
what's really
good.
Cute? My dad has a block clock, and instead of the price showing, he has it on like the market cap.
Really?
It's so adorable.
In dollar terms. Wow.
You're
Boomer
such a
confirmed.
boomer.
Boomer confirmed. That's funny. All right, guys. I got this good video coming out of Safety's podcast, the Bitcoin Standard podcast. And it is Riccardo Salinas, third richest man in Mexico. And he's literally doing the Bitcoin playbook that we always talk about. You kind of dip your toes. You go maybe 25% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. Then you probably step it up to 50. And then at a certain point, you realize, like, why am I holding anything else? I should just probably go 100% all in on Bitcoin. And he literally said this exact same thing. So you just love to see it. It's happening in real time, guys. The memes are playing out in real time. Let's watch it.
So I'm not very positive about the economy in general. I think that anybody who has an investment portfolio should be extremely careful because of the way that stocks are valued today. Is ridiculous. I don't own a single stock other than gold miners, Bitcoin miners, and in a very small proportion. And that's why my portfolio is 80% Bitcoin and Bitcoin exposure through miners and 20% gold and gold exposure through miners. And that's it. That's my investment portfolio. You know? Yeah, I don't know. Why do I still have gold? Well, I could probably move to 100% Bitcoin, but maybe I need a little bit more time, you know, being an old guy and all that.
Yo.
Look, what he didn't want to say is I still have gold because I can afford it. Like,
literally. Though it is interesting to just kind of like hear his view. And at the very end of it, he said he's like, maybe I just need to study a little more, which is kind of interesting. But I think it's really kind of talking about your dad. It's really, can't teach an old dog new tricks. They're just so used to holding gold that they're like, I just need a little bit of it in my portfolio, whether it's gold mining stocks,
just need a little bit of that shiny rock to hold and feel.
Yeah, and boomers love to touch stuff. Pause.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, pause. I didn't think that one through. But you can see that gold still has a very strong mind share in the majority of people out there. Of course, if you're trading stocks, maybe you don't care about gold because maybe you don't need to hedge against inflation, but it looks like it's working. It looks like the Bitcoin mind virus. I don't like using mind virus, but it looks like the Bitcoin cure is catching on.
Yeah, he's definitely embodying the stay humble stack sats with the I need to learn a little bit more. But it's like somebody said in the chat here, he still has gold because everyone has a little doomer in them. I was actually talking to someone this weekend who asked me, he's like, so do you also buy gold? And like, I actually do have a little bit of gold. And he's like, well, at least you're consistent. Like, they really do still kind of see it as like this congruous thing, because they still see Bitcoin as like an asset when really it's so much more than that. And I think that that's what this gentleman is seeing himself, and that's why he would go all in 100% on Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's maybe it's different for us because we're younger and we have a lot more time to kind of be in the market. But if you're like one of the wealthiest men in Mexico, you probably don't need to, pile into one thing to get richer. They probably do kind of think of it as like a hedge in their portfolio. If for whatever reason, I don't think he's going to saying Bitcoin's going to go to zero. I think he's just saying, like, I'm just used to this. I just really like gold. I really like gold stocks. This is part of my portfolio. But I think if this is kind of a trend of what we're going to see happen, I think we're going to see a lot more wealthy people start to get into Bitcoin. I know we've been seeing and covering it on the show for a while. It started with like people saying you just need 1% to 2%. Then it's moved to 15%. Then it moves up to 40%. We have Salinas here saying, hey, I'm 80% in. I think I might go 100% in at some time soon. It's just like that. Your ratio of your portfolio, once you start to really get into Bitcoin, once you get the gains in Bitcoin, you're like, why am I leaving money on the table? I should probably just buy more Bitcoin.
But there is also this other incentive that people have, especially those who don't have the financial privilege of being American. And it's that you can be debanked literally from one day to the next. I mean, Trump had an executive order this year, right? That made it illegal for banks to just suddenly debank Americans, but like for no reason, or for reputational purposes or whatever. But the reality is that still happens to millions of people around the globe. They want to save in dollars because their currency is extremely volatile, and all of a sudden, but they have to, run the risk of being debanked. That risk completely goes away when you buy Bitcoin. And so I think that, there might be that incentive also behind what he's thinking. He's not just like, he's a billionaire. He has an ungodly amount of wealth. But I think for him, it might be more the security aspect that Bitcoin provides, because it's not just number go up forever. This is actually mine and nobody can take it from me.
Yeah. Sovereignty is a hell of a drug, right? Like having something that you can actually own, control, and no one can take away from you is one of the most powerful things. And I think that's one of the main reasons all of us are Bitcoiners here. It's like, Saylor last week is basically saying there's no tariffs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's, I forget what he used to say. It's Bitcoin is, I forget, like the queen of sovereignty, protecting your freedom, or whatever his meme was back in the day. But this is really what's catching on. I think not just the gains, but owning something that is fully in your control, I think might be one of the best selling points for a lot of people. And maybe it's because it's not physical that makes it, that much more, I don't know, real to people. It's like, well, I can't actually hold this. So how do I hold this? Well, I just control the keys to get into this Bitcoin thing, and no one can take that away from me. Literally, like Saylor always says, you can perish tomorrow and that goal or that Bitcoin will be with you forever and no one can ever touch it. Maybe some trade-offs here, but I like to hear billionaires saying they're going all in on Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin's here for the little guy, but hey, we need them to buy in size so they can pump our bags and we can become big guys here, guys. This is what we're doing.
The beauty here is that Bitcoin takes the best parts of capitalism, right? Like they give the opportunity to everybody equally. But at the same time, like when a billionaire buys a bunch of Bitcoin, it's good for everybody trickling down the economic scale. So it's, it's good for everybody that billionaires like Saylor and what's his name? Salinas,
Riccardo
sorry.
Salinas.
Buy Bitcoin. It's excellent. So I mean, great. Pump our bags.
Yeah, and as a fellow Mexican, I just love to see a Mexican billionaire just go all in. Let's see more of them go all in.
And as a Mexican adjacent, me too. I'm kidding. I'm Venezuelan. Our currency hyperinflated a long time ago, so I'm rooting for Bitcoin.
Yeah, 100%. This is why I think the Latin countries understand this so well, because their fiat currencies are trash and they get debased all the time. But hey, the world's waking up. If we're seeing anything happen right now, I think 2025, and I've said this a while ago, it does feel like 2025 is going to be one of those pivotal years where we look back on this year and we, not saying the cycles are over or this time is different yet, but we will look back at 2025 and we could pinpoint this year as like the year that things fundamentally changed. Like the paradigm shifted in 2025. And from here on out, I think Bitcoin is going to be taken a lot more seriously by everyone around the world. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by
the super
chats. Thank you, D's Mode. Can I? Yeah, I guess I could read that. Turd karma comes around. Respect the lady. Agreed. So Sophie's a trooper. She hangs out with us in the trenches all the time. So she knows what the deal is, guys. Anyways, let's get into the news for today, because there is I would say a very interesting shakeup that happened on the federal level for the United States. And it does make you wonder. It makes you wonder a lot of things. So we're going to get into that. And we're going to speculate a little bit here, Soph. And I'm glad I have Sophie here because she has like a witch intuition on her. So maybe we can pinpoint what actually happened here. Let's dive into it.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, Ledin, the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans. Unlock the liquidity in your Bitcoin without having to sell your Bitcoin. They've issued $9 billion in loans to over 10,000 customers since 2018. I absolutely love these guys. Not only do I have an account with them, but I also have a loan. And what I love about them is that there are no monthly payments, and you could pay back the loan at any time. As soon as you send your Bitcoin as collateral, you'll have cash in your account within 24 hours. Over 1,000 five-star customer reviews, and they've never lost a single dollar or sat of customer money. Go to learn.ledn.io/simply today, and you'll get 0.25% off your first loan. I want to give a shout out to our partner, sat123.com. Sovereignty isn't just about your money. It's about your communications too. When the grid goes down, most people go dark. Cell towers fail in hurricanes, cyber attacks, and blackouts. But satellite phones, they don't rely on local infrastructure. Iridium has 77 satellites in orbit, giving you a direct line anywhere in the US, even offshore. If you hold your own Bitcoin keys, you should hold your own comms too. Sat123.com also has everything you need to start building your Bitcoin citadel. Starlink, battery backups, Faraday bags to protect your hardware wallets, and much, much more. It's a one-stop shop for anyone serious about resilience and off-grid independence. Stay connected, stay independent, stay sovereign. Go to sat123.com/simply today and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the store.
Hello, guys. We are back shilling our favorite satellite phone, the Iridium, found on sat123.com. You can use the promo code SIMPLY for 15% off, or you could just scan the QR code. We made it super easy for you to be able to survive the apocalypse. Opti said it was World War Z approved.
Yeah, it's World War Z approved.
I've never seen the movie, so, you know, kill me in the chats if you want.
You cannot trust me and verify, but it's literally the like the main plot of the movie. They use one of those.
Also,
phones.
I would argue that this is probably more valuable than gold in the apocalypse. So you definitely if you have gold and that's like what you're depending on for the apocalypse, like I think you need to buy like 5 or 10 of these and use promo code SIMPLY in the QR code below. 5 or 10 of them, okay? 5 or 10 of them. And you need a Faraday bag.
She's a little rusty on her show today. It's a Monday, guys. Anyways, before I get into the news, shouts out to everyone in the YouTube chat. We got Backyard Trail Builds, $5 super chat. Appreciate the show a lot. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And then our favorite Mexican in the chat. Can I actually read this one today? Yeah, I think I can. Mexica Huddle, $20 super chat. Thanks, Ron. He goes, hola, perros. Your Mexican chorizo by the foot in the house. Maybe I can't read that. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know what he's saying.
I had some ground chorizo yesterday.
Sounds good.
With eggs. It was so good. Oh,
sounds good.
So good.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the news story here. And so I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend, but this happened on Friday. Or wait, was it Friday? No. Saturday. This happened on Saturday, which was pretty crazy. I was actually out with a friend and I checked Twitter real quick and I saw this. I was like, whoa, okay. This is kind of a shakeup. So Bo Hines, you can see here, he changed his profile. He was part of the digital asset working group. And now he has officially resigned. And the tweet goes, serving in President Trump's administration and working alongside our brilliant AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, as executive director of the White House Crypto Council, has been the honor of a lifetime. Together, we have positioned America as the crypto capital of the world. I'm deeply grateful to the industry for its unwavering support. I love this community and all we built together. As I return to the private sector, which I think might be the biggest hint here, I look forward to continuing my support for the crypto ecosystem as it thrives here in the United States. And going further, David Sachs goes, thank you, Bo Hines, for doing an amazing job with the first ever Crypto Council. Huge accomplishments with the Crypto Summit, Genius Act, and Digital Assets Report. As you pursue your next chapter, I look forward to being able to draw on your expertise and advice. So I'm going to go back to this tweet here. I saw a lot of people kind of responding to this, and I think this did come out of nowhere. Personally, I didn't see this coming. I'm not going to lie. I think it happened very unannounced here. Personally, I think it might be a little premature. I saw a lot of people saying it's like you haven't really done anything, and I won't go that far, but I thought he was going to be in this position for a long time here. And I know they got a lot of good kind of framework for what's going to happen in the US. I think there has been some good movement. I know last week we were playing a clip of him essentially saying that they are stacking Bitcoin right now. They, as in the US government, is stacking Bitcoin. So it's pretty interesting to see him step down, though. I think that bit at the end of him going back to the private sector and, you know, supporting the crypto ecosystem, I think honestly, and this might be speculation, it sounds like he's going to go to a Bitcoin treasury company. That'd be my take.
I'm not sure because he's not a Bitcoin maxi, right? Like I saw crypto in that tweet, so I'm just like immediate eyebrow raise. It could be. I mean, Nico has said it before. Like these Bitcoin treasury companies are like the new ICO of this cycle, right? So it's possible if everyone is jumping on that bandwagon, but maybe he just left because things weren't moving fast enough for him, or maybe somebody who is a Bitcoin maxi might join the Trump administration. That would be the ideal thing, right? Like, could you imagine Max Kaiser or like Saylor just wrecking the ball in there, making policy or suggesting policy anyway for Bitcoin to be bought by the government?
Yeah, I mean, as everyone in the chat saying, he wants to make money. This is why he's stepping down. He's probably going to go all in on Bitcoin.
I mean, he could make money just by like buying Bitcoin and staying in. Like I don't know if it's that he wants to make money. I mean, if I wanted to make money, I would stay in my position and just keep buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know when David Sachs came in, he essentially said he divested from all of his holdings. I'm guessing there's probably some kind of mandate where they can't, you know, buy Bitcoin in bulk here, or sorry, you know, in size here. I think you have to kind of report what your holdings are, and then while you're in that position, you probably can't profit on. You know, we can't all be Nancy Pelosi here.
I mean, I would have my wife buy for me, right?
Well, that's
what Nancy does.
That's probably a gray area, Sophie.
No, she's straight up. That's straight up what she does. She's like, I'm not really into the market. It's my husband who buys. It's like, bro, she thinks we're all 40 IQ.
Yeah, and I think like Derek's saying again, it could be a conflict of interest. We really don't know what it is, but he stepped down. And I would just say it seemed very abruptly. Like, yeah, I thought he was going to be in this position for a while. I don't know what the vibe is or what people are saying in the chat, whether they think this is a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe they do think that they kind of, you know, got everything set in place and now they're good to go. And then moving forward, we'll see some interesting stuff come out of Bo Hines. But
well, yeah, because why would he step down now when we're nearing all-time high prices, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make much sense.
Sounds like he wants to buy Bitcoin.
Sounds like, I don't know.
Sounds like he's trying to smash by.
Yeah, probably, honestly. If there is that conflict of interest in, you know, clause or whatever in place that you can't buy Bitcoin if you're working for the government, then yeah, that's probably, although you would speculate that he already has a lot of Bitcoin, you know, and that he might just be like, I don't know. I would have kept my position of power if I, like, you know what I mean? Like, I stacked my stack. And now,
I mean, look, I think,
and now I need to pump my own bags.
Yeah, but I think if he does come out, like maybe we'll get something this week or in a week or two, and he comes out as some kind of, I don't know, Bitcoin adjacent company and something in the industry. If that's not like a bullish sign of where things are going, like, because he's got to know stuff that we don't know. And I mean, of course, maybe NDAs or whatever, government, you know, can't really, national secrets here, he can't really talk about it. But if he goes all in on a Bitcoin company right now, that would just tell me this is going to be a bullish end of the year.
I mean, for sure. It's going to be a bullish end of the year anyway, but I would imagine that most people who are in government positions and leave to the private sector, they end up leaving as consultants, right? So like he might not join a Bitcoin Bitcoin treasury company. He might just set up his own consulting service where he tells people, okay, buy this, buy that, whatever. This is going to pump. This is going to dump. Like he uses his knowledge that he had while he was in there, to essentially, advise his customers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where this ends up. But someone said it here. He knows what's coming. Sin Diesel says he knows what's coming, or quote, what's missing in terms of the Bitcoin reserve. That honestly, that was like my first impression when I saw he resigned. I'm like, oh man, this is probably not a good sign here. Just because it's like if you resign randomly, like, my first thought was, of course, very cynical. It's like maybe the U.S. doesn't have the Bitcoin that they claim they do, and this is why he's resigning. But then it kind of came out. I didn't see his actual tweet for like 2 minutes, and then I searched for it. Seems like he's leaving on good terms, joining the private sector. So I don't know. I think it's more on the lines of just he knows what's coming, and if that's the case, and he goes into some kind of Bitcoin, even a crypto company. I think that would say that some bullish things are going to happen in the U.S. And if he knows that the U.S. has stacked Bitcoin and he's trying to position himself before that announcement, he's going to make a bag. Yeah. I'm not going to hate on him for that.
Yeah, I can't hate on him for that either. I would, I'd still stay. I would stay and try to be a good advocate for Bitcoin and whatever crypto, I guess, gets dragged along here in the conversation. But I mean, maybe he did everything he needed to do. And now he feels like he's leaving it in good hands. And, that's great for us, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the conversation that people were having.
Because what else is there left to do? We already have an executive order that's allowing 401ks to invest into Bitcoin.
We need elimination of capital gains.
Well, yeah, no, we do. But that's
that's probably not happening.
That's gonna take some bipartisan support.
That's gonna take a while. But no, I think your point is like the right one. At least that's kind of what David Sachs was saying. It's like they did everything that he did everything he needed to do in 6 months, and now he can go into the private sector. And maybe people will say this is a bad thing, but capitalize off the momentum going on here. We're capitalists here. I'm kind of okay with that. If he goes in size into Bitcoin position, I think that's a sign of things are going to get super crazy. And they did do everything they said. So digging deeper into it, I don't know what's really going on. But moving forward a little bit, we did get another kind of tweet come out of David Sachs over the weekend as well. And it does kind of piggyback off of the executive order that Trump did around debanking. So David Sachs tweet, again, he's the crypto czar. And he goes, why are top banks still prohibiting or restricting access to Bitcoin ETFs on their wealth management platforms? Is this the last vestige of debanking? And he's quote tweeting this: over 31 trillion in U.S. wealth platform capital is still restricted or prohibited from accessing Bitcoin ETF. Structural constraints are suppressing flows and creating opportunity that won't last forever. Data is based on direct conversations with advisors at each platform. And of course, we have the executive order. Oh, I didn't pull it up. Sorry, guys.
Oop.
I have the executive order from Trump about debanking, specifically mentioning crypto companies as part of the Operation Choke Point 2.0 and banks fighting the Bitcoin industry as one of the top priorities here. So it is interesting to see them kind of pinpoint the problems, which really goes into like a more bullish take of what's going on. It's like, look, the Bitcoin price maybe is stagnant. Yes, we're hearing billions announced of Bitcoin buys like every other week, but that still goes to show that there is what did it say, $31 trillion of capital in the US that can't even get into Bitcoin yet. It really makes me think like we are still so early in this. I know Saylor's doing a lot of different products to kind of tap into these markets, but the vast majority of the world's wealth can't even get into Bitcoin right now. And so you guys here watching the show that's been with us on this ride for a long time, we're all still early on this. And I know it's hard to believe that we're early when the Bitcoin price is at 120K.
We're early, but
we're early.
The prehistoric age has long passed us now, at the very least. I think now we're like in the 1776 American Revolution, or about to, happen, that area, that kind of Renaissance period, where people are kind of starting to accept. But yeah, the prehistoric age has left us, and we still have our problems. We still have capital gains, but we've made it such a long way. I mean, like, I never thought that we'd be here last year. Did you?
Yes, I did. I thought we were going to be here in 2021. What
Bro,
do we
I did not. I
What are
thought,
we
see,
doing?
look, I thought that meme of like when they say like, and then we fight them or then they fight us. It's like, I thought that was gonna be like at least a one cycle. Like at the very least, it was gonna take like a cycle, and it wasn't that bad. Like you know, and we might have got lucky because Trump got in office and he just happened to be pro Bitcoin. But I thought this fight was going to last way longer. I mean, it is money that you're talking about. It is like the whole entire financial system that hasn't changed since the time of Medici. But now we're here, and I really didn't think that it would happen this quickly.
Yeah, it really is happening fast. Dude, sorry, I was gonna comment in the chat, but D's mode saying I shouldn't drink White Monster because it causes speech impediments. Dude, I can't speak normally. Yeah, like I don't think it can mess me up any more than it already did.
It's only because I'm on, because usually when Nico's on, he's the one.
Yeah, he's the one stuttering.
But yeah.
Was,
in the hierarchy of people who can speak, I'm
the best.
Probably first. And that's weird because I don't always know what I'm talking about. I've mastered the art of bullshitting.
Haven't we all?
Being from Miami will really teach you that.
All right, though. So if you did remind me of a good tweet from Checkmatey, and he basically said the same thing you said. Sorry guys, my computer's dying. Yeah, I think that outlet's not working either, Sophie. Anyways, Checkmatey says, if you have been in Bitcoin for a cycle or more before today, you have experienced a once in a lifetime event. You built a conviction to hold an asset which the entire world told you was destined for nothing. Literally everyone said you were wrong at scale. That character building dynamic is no longer the case. Wall Street, government policy, and even the media is at minimum less negative, but mostly now positive. Building conviction in Bitcoin now is easy. Folks just pass off responsibility to their money manager. If you stood the hardcore test of building, forming, challenging, and reshaping your conviction over years amidst the most hostile social environment against Bitcoin we will probably ever see, well done. Yes, the asset is awesome, but the lessons you learned and the trust you now have in your own decisions and ability to reason cannot be replicated. You lived a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Put it to work in your life and make it better.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome that number go up is just the top of the iceberg and that there is so much more underneath because, you know, I think that boomers lived through this time period where it was like more is more and like fiat created this way of life that just depended on like short-term gains, short-term highs. And now Bitcoin gives humanity this opportunity to like, ironically, touch grass again and reevaluate what really matters because now you don't have to be in this rat race, right? You don't have to be like worrying every 5 seconds about like, you know, if you can get the newest thing and outfit and whatever, the car, the Lambo, whatever. Like, yeah, at the beginning, that is the motive, right? The money is the motive. But underneath that, you're actually incentivized to like store your wealth and keep your money and save and kind of value other things. So it is really, really beautiful that we get to be part of this huge revolution, not just in money, but also in culture and in spirit, almost. Like, not to get corny or anything, but like I really think that Bitcoin is a revolution of your soul in some ways.
Yeah, totally. I mean, what's the saying, you know? It's not the Bitcoin price, it's the friends you made along the way.
It's the fucking autists you meet along the way.
Yeah.
We're all holding hands.
I mean, the reason I brought that tweet up, Self, is because like you did mention it. We did basically just live through the most hostile, at least in the US, regulatory environment around Bitcoin and the whole industry. And like to your point, it wasn't like, I know it was bad. Like there's people in jail now because of it, but it didn't last as long as we probably thought it was. It could have been worse.
It could, like, in the scheme of revolutions around the world, this could have been way worse. Like there were no guillotines.
Wait. I don't know if we can say that, Sophie.
Oh, sorry. There was no French Revolution, you know. There was.
All right.
It's been light. It's been light. They haven't jailed anyone for self-custody yet.
Yo.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
We'll clip that out.
Yeah, I might have to clip that. But yeah, it is interesting to see how quickly things can change. And I think this, like going back to Hines leaving, I think this is kind of one of the main concerns that we're seeing amongst Bitcoiners right now, is nothing's really been codified so far yet. You know, when Trump leaves, all of this can go out the window very quickly. So hopefully we see some more action on that front, at least in the US. And I know once it happens in the US, it's solidified in the US. I'm sure you're going to see this start to ripple everywhere. And really, we want to see this play out long term and not just get, you know, another executive order to take this all away in 3 years from now. So, you know, a little hopeful on that front, but also maybe it is a little early to really kind of take our victory lap here, because who knows what can happen? Who knows what's going to happen in the US in 3-4 years from now? So as of now, we will take the W's, and we're going to be very excited moving forward out here, especially at Simply Bitcoin, covering the news. Hopefully we get some crazy news stories coming out. Hopefully we just get, you know, I'm getting fired. Yeah, hopefully we find some good stuff. Anyways, let's I do want to speculate a little bit. This one's gonna be fun. It is a little cultural stuff, but this is heavy speculation right now, but this is why I put it at the end of the show. So let's get into it.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, HIVE Digital Technology. Why HIVE in 2025? Unstoppable growth. As the first ever public miner, HIVE's position to quadruple their global footprint, making them one of the world's fastest growing miners in 2025. And with elite operations that consistently top the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash, HIVE's now headquartered in the USA. They're lean and mean, they're green and clean, and they're rewriting the playbook on sustainable Bitcoin mining. You can catch the latest buzz at HIVE Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com. I want to give a shout out to our partner, bitcoinben.io. If you're into freedom, Bitcoin, and building a real community, this is for you. Gain exclusive access to real-world, members-only, private clubs across the globe, featuring poker nights, expert-led classes, co-working spaces, educational meetups, live events, and more. Current locations include Sarasota, Nashville, Boston, Dallas, Las Vegas, and St. Louis, with new clubs launching soon in West Palm Beach, Scottsdale, Alabama, and beyond. Not to mention Bitcoin Ben's resorts in El Salvador. There's 3 of them, and they're absolutely beautiful. You'll also get access to the first fully backed Bitcoin bank with fiat ramps and savings accounts. It's called Private Key Bank, and you guessed it, it's based out of El Salvador. Go peer-to-peer with Bitcoin bulk buys, tap into home equity for long-term Bitcoin growth, and join their exclusive mining pools if you're interested in mining. What are you waiting for? Head over to bitcoinben.io, join today, where Bitcoin meets freedom.
All right, guys. Before I do this, I do want to do a little disclaimer here. You know, I am speculating here. So, you know, just follow me along on the speculation here, because Sophie said it earlier. What a lot of Bitcoiners are waiting for is for the likes of the Amazons to accept Bitcoin. Now, we don't have that news story here, which is why I put this at the end of the show. But again, this is a cultural shift kind of moment here, even though it's not necessarily Amazon. What am I talking about? Well, if you are not a flat earther and you're a globie like me and you still believe in space, then we have this very interesting news story. So Blue Origin space flights aboard New Shepard can now be purchased with crypto and stable coins through Shift 4.
Oh my God. This is so exciting for me. Actually, I didn't know we were going to cover this, but it's very
Are you trying to get a space flight?
No, but at the conference, they were at the conference, and I had a long conversation with them because I am a pop girly, and I was like, what was it like hanging out with Katy Perry in space?
Well, let's be clear that I think that clip looked really fake though. So that
Well, who knows?
I don't know. It looks suspicious to say the least.
I don't care that she went to space. I just care that, like, they
You
were hanging out
with her.
with Katy Perry. And whatever, we were talking, and I was actually wondering what they were doing at the Bitcoin conference. So now this is all making sense. And they were very nice to me, and they gave me a box with like an anti-gravity pen and a bunch of goodies. So they were very cool.
They give you that merch. Okay, guys. So here we go. Here is kind of the news. Obviously, it's not perfect because there's shitcoins involved, but starting today, empowered by Shift4 seamless payments technology, consumers can pay with popular cryptocurrencies and stables like Bitcoin and some other shitcoins for trips to space aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard. To date, more than 75 people have gone to space. And here's a good quote. Our mission has always been to revolutionize commerce by simplifying the transaction process, and we're thrilled to now extend that vision beyond Earth. Together with Blue Origin, we are making space accessible to explorers around the globe. This partnership will enable adventurous travelers to book the adventures of a lifetime, no matter their preferred payment method, all with a simple, frictionless experience. Now, of course, this is Jeff Bezos' space company here. Space exploration seems like a leisure way to have some fun in space.
Seems like a great way for boomers to spend $250K. Dude, it's super expensive, by the way. Like, they told me it's $250K to go into space, and like they include the training and it's like I don't remember how long the training is, but stack sats instead. I mean, my recommendation.
I wouldn't be giving them Bitcoin for that, but again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I am going to speculate here. We have been speculating whether Jeff Bezos is going to become a Bitcoiner. Now one of his companies is accepting Bitcoin and shitcoins for payments. And it really reminds me of this, guys. Remember, what was this? 2 years ago now, when Jeff Bezos got remarried, they were on a very nice yacht. And remember who was there? We had Michael Saylor at the yacht party. So my speculation here, and I'll put it out here now, maybe soon we will see Amazon go into Bitcoin. If they start accepting Bitcoin, I know you can, do buy gift cards for Bitcoin, and then you can, or buy Amazon gift cards with Bitcoin, and you can use that on the platform itself. But if we get some Bitcoin payments directly, that would be a game changer for, I think, a lot of us. I know you don't want to spend your Bitcoin, but if you're already in Bitcoin, using your Bitcoin to buy stuff on Amazon to survive, I'd be okay with this.
Not just as a consumer, but also there's a lot of retailers on Amazon that would benefit greatly from receiving Amazon. Now, all of a sudden, every mom and pop shop becomes or has their own little Bitcoin strategic reserve. And that's huge because the overhead is very little. I mean, I think that would be just like a net positive.
Yeah, and I also looked into Amazon's reserves and or cash on hand and cash equivalents, guys. And they're sitting on a sizable stack right now. The different metrics that I saw like 95 billion. It's sitting now around 100 billion. At minimum, they have about $95 billion as of March 31st, 2025. So look, if they do even just a Bitcoin treasury strategy here, even if it's a small one, that's going to make international headline. That's going to be a big news story. So we don't have anything really concrete yet, except for Jeff Bezos' space company is now accepting Bitcoin payments. But it does make you think that his other companies are probably coming down the pipeline soon. And again, once we do this, I think that will be a cultural shift that unlike any other.
Do you imagine buying groceries at Whole Foods with Bitcoin?
Dude, Whole Foods just moved in down the street for me.
Sick.
I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. Yeah. So what? He's got Whole Foods, Amazon, his space company. I know he's got some other stuff, but
you can buy movies on Prime, or your streaming service can be just like,
that's like a fundamental cultural shift if this happens. So maybe this is baby steps. Again, maybe all this stuff is kind of happening in slow motion, and we're just seeing the first initial kind of dipping your toes into the market.
If Amazon does it, if Bezos does it, You're going to see a lot of grocery chains start to accept Bitcoin. You're going to see Netflix, HBO, all the streaming services start to accept Bitcoin. You're going to then see by, trickle up effect, movie studios, which have millions of dollars in budgets, possibly, transact and work in Bitcoins. Movie theaters might come back and actually like make a different experience, something more immersive, something futuristic, because now they have the money to do so. It wouldn't be like this thing that just loses money all the time. I'm super bullish about this news. I think that Bezos is an intelligent man, and he probably got orange pilled by Sailor on that yacht.
I mean, of course, Sailor's gonna be like, "What's it? You have $95 billion of melting ice cubes, dude. You need to buy some Bitcoin." I mean, with that said, he probably has his own personal holdings that we just really aren't aware of. So, I think it's again one of those moments where some of the whether you like them, and I know Bitcoiners have the like slay your heroes meme, but literally now, guys, we have the most influential people in the space now. It's no longer just us, 42 IQ people on the internet, anons that hang out and live in our mom's basements. It's like the movers and shakers of the world are
these
Bitcoiners
are serious people. These are the big dogs that, like you said, move and shake the world.
Who knows? Maybe this is going to be.
I don't want to be too bullish on the show. I don't want to be like Bitcoin's going to 1 million this year.
It's not going this year.
I mean, maybe not this year, but definitely for sure. I mean, sometime soon. 500K? I don't know.
500K this year? I'll take that.
I'll be okay take that. I'll be happy with that. But we got to get rid of those capital gains taxes, though.
Yeah.
We got to recognize Bitcoin as currency. We got to recognize it as speech.
Yeah, we still got an uphill battle here, guys. And yeah, sorry, guys. My IQ is so low, I can't even remember what my IQ is anymore. Apparently, I'm at 41. I think it's at 40. I thought
it was at 43.
It's dropping. It was a long weekend. It's definitely dropped.
I still want to hear about that.
Yeah, it's like 35 IQ. We're at 35 IQ. All right, guys. So that was today's show. Really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Of course, share the show, like, subscribe, comment on the show. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us if Sophie should take over for us, all that good stuff. And we are dropping the best content on our YouTube channel. And supposedly, Nico will be back for the rest of the week. He's been traveling. He's in Helsinki now.
It's been brutal. It's been a brutal week for Nico. So, I got to give it to him. He's a trooper representing Simply Bitcoin all over the world. Literally. Love you. And I will also be covering for Dante this week. So stay tuned for those videos. I'm super excited to be part of the team. And like I said, guys, leave in the comments what you want to see from us, what topics you want us to cover. And if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, send this stream to your friends, send all of our videos to your friends, bombard them with information so that they don't say later on, damn, I wish you would have told me about Bitcoin. I've sent you Simply Bitcoin's content 1 million times, dude. You want to be that guy. You want to say, I told you so. Yeah, 100%. And shouts out to Senor Gringo Poppy. Yes, guys, we are almost at 100K. So if you watch this show and you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Get us over that mark there, 100K. We will be an official YouTube channel then. We'll really be official. But we're super excited for that. Maybe like a week or so away. Depending if Sophie gets another banger, we might be done. We might be over that mark in a week, guys. And so before we even get there, I just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you guys. Anyone that has ever watched our show, liked our videos, even commented negative stuff about me on the videos. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The whole team, from the whole Simply Bitcoin team, we truly, truly love you guys and wouldn't be here without your guys' support. So it means the world to us. It really does. So, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep chugging along. 100K is just a start for us here, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow. Same time as usual, roughly 12:30 p.m. I know it's going to say 12:15, but 12:30 is when we go live, guys. You should know this by now. On that note, get outside, get some sun, eat some good food, call your loved ones.
What else do we do? Take a nap. I don't know. Get some good sleep. Oh, it's
Drink
all the
some
life
coffee.
advice.
It's the beginning of the week. You gotta ramp up,
Yeah.
accelerate.
Yeah, get your caffeine intake in. All right, guys, we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Today's episode was brought to you by BitcoinWell.com, a Bitcoin-only platform on a mission to enable financial independence.